The era of the Rashidun Caliphate, marked by justice, unity, and expansion, was entering treacherous waters. In Medina, the heart of the Islamic Empire, tensions brewed under the surface despite the outward calm. It was the rule of Uthman ibn Affan, the third caliph, a man known for his piety, generosity, and gentle nature. In his early years as caliph, Uthman stood as a symbol of stability. He had supported Islam from its infancy, had been appointed by the Prophet Muhammad himself as a trusted companion and son-in-law, and had generously funded the growing Muslim state. Yet, as his rule extended into its later years, whispers of discontent began to ripple through the empire. To some, Uthman seemed too willing to appoint members of his powerful Umayyad clan to high-ranking positions. Governorships in places such as Egypt, Iraq, and Syria were handed to his relatives, men whose ambition or actions were questioned by others within the Islamic community. Uthman defended these decisions, believing deeply in the integrity of his family members, but the perception of favoritism and nepotism was difficult to shake. Complaints against heavy taxation and alleged corruption grew louder, amplified by regional disputes, fractured alliances, and the embers of tribal rivalries. By 656 CE, opposition had taken shape. Leaders from Egypt, Kufa, and Basra, rallying under the banner of reform, began voicing their demands more aggressively. They sought justice for grievances, transparency in public administration, and an end to nepotism. Uthman, believing he could reconcile with the growing unrest, stayed steadfast in Medina. His noble disposition led him to seek resolution through dialogue, but the factions stirring dissent were relentless and emboldened. They came in waves, protesters arriving in Medina, confronting the elderly caliph. Some sources describe how Uthman presented himself with humility, offering explanations, defending his policies, and often yielding to demands in hopes of restoring unity. He believed they would see reason and return to their homelands. But tensions escalated beyond mediation. July of that year drew the crisis to its peak. Besiegers camped outside Uthman's home, claiming injustice that they would no longer tolerate. Within the walls, Uthman fasted, prayed, and sought solace in the Quran. Counsel came and went, companions like Ali and others urging peaceful resolution, though each day the situation grew darker. And then the fateful day. The details are haunting. Accounts vary, but the tragedy is known. The besiegers, consumed by their hatred, stormed Uthman's residence. He, the meek and devout caliph, was found reciting from the Quran, his voice calm even in the face of turmoil. They struck him while the book rested in his lap, blood staining the verses as history bore witness to the first violent rupture within the young Muslim state. The killing of Uthman would become a moment seared into the collective memory of Islam. It wasn't just the death of a caliph, it was the shattering of unity, the prelude to darker chapters of division. The lesson echoes through time. When justice falters, when misunderstandings burgeon, the price becomes unimaginable. Uthman's death was a martyrdom, but it left behind questions that history continues to reckon with.